The quarrel between Education Cabinet Secretary Professor Jacob Kaimenyi and the teachers' unions over the basic education regulations has been hogging the headlines this entire week.
Now that said, what exactly is in the regulations, and could there be something in there that Kenyan public is not being told about? KTN's educatrion in our reports.
The Cabinet Secretary for Education don't play with fire.
The train has left the station.
The new basic education regulations are the latest battlefront between the Ministry of Education and teachers' unions over a provision that the unions insist give the Cabinet Secretary powers to discipline school heads. The contentious regulation states that where any impropriety is established on the part of a head of an institution, the Cabinet Secretary shall revoke the designation of such head of institution as the accounting officer and request the Teachers Service Commission for a replacement. The contentious provision is just one in a raft of measures in the basic education regulations. The late Kaimenyi Maruge caught the attention of many in the year 2004 when he enrolled in Class 1 at the Kapkenduiwo Primary School in Eldoret at the age of 84. He earned himself the Guinness World Record as the oldest person to start primary school. Many other old pupils have since taken the cue from Maruge. But now those above 18 years and seeking education will not be admitted to ordinary primary schools. According to the new basic education regulations, learners above the age of 18 shall only be admitted into institutions of alternative basic, adult and continuing education. And the very early morning class sessions for day schools will be a thing of the past. The new regulations stipulate that no day institution of basic education shall require learners to report earlier than 7:15 a.m. Classes for both day and boarding school will start at 8 a.m. and end at 3:30 p.m. Co-curricular activities will be undertaken between 3:30 p.m. and 4:45 p.m. Boarding schools will have self-directed activities between 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, while preps will begin at 7:30 p.m. and end at 9:30 p.m. Learners will be expected to get some rest between 9:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. The new regulations set the minimum age for admission into a primary school at 6 years. Learners transiting from pre-primary to a public primary school will now not be required to do any entry examination, undergo an interview, or pay any admission fee. And pupils' admission into secondary school will now not be dictated by their KCPE results. The new regulations state that learners who have gone through primary school shall be eligible for admission to a secondary school, regardless of their scores in the summative evaluation of their primary education. No public school shall issue alternative fee structures other than those approved by the Cabinet Secretary, and no institution shall prescribe a specific supplier of school uniforms or any other materials for the parents or guardians. In case of mass indiscipline, which is defined as unlawful demonstration, boycott of classes or meals, destruction of school property, or invasion of other institutions, shopping centers or homesteads, a school head may declare the institution closed and students held back from attending school for a period not exceeding 2 weeks. The new regulations outline several security measures, among them that all doors should open to the outside and windows should not have grills.
The rules, the regulations that we read the other day, they are fantastic regulations.
Teachers' unions want the Gazette notice on the regulations withdrawn and are threatening to call a strike when schools reopen if that does not happen. But the Education Cabinet Secretary is standing his ground. Rita Tinina, KTN.